Carrie and Glen light the way unseen. Through laughter and wisdom they weave a dream. Their voices dance like stars in the night, the mystic compass guiding us all to a brighter light. Tune in now, let your spirit rise with a spark of humor and open skies. Feel the vibe, let the laughter flow. Calibrate your compass, help your soul to glow. Tammy, watch and chat, and doing much more. Always picking up Carrie's cards off the floor.
They speak of mountains yet to climb, of finding joy in the roughest times. With every word a seed is sown in the garden of the mystic compass where dreams will grow.
Tune in now, let your spirit rise with a spark of humor and open skies. Feel the vibe, let the laughter flow. Carrie and Glen, help your soul to glow. Tammy, watch and chat, and doing much more. Always picking up Carrie's card off the floor. Through the static of doubt they cut so clear, a melody of courage we all can hear. They remind us all that in the darkest night, mystic compass holds the dawn of a world bathed in light. Tune in now, let your spirit rise with a spark of humor and open skies. Feel the vibe, let the laughter flow. Carrie and Glen, help your soul to glow. Tammy, watch and chat, and doing much more. Always picking up Carrie's cards off the floor.
Tammy, you get that for me?
Tammy.
Hello.
All right. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to
morning.
those Europeans watching us over there in Europe or Asia or Africa.
We're
How you doing,
Australia,
Carrie?
New Zealanders, all my friends.
Australia.
Yeah, abroad. All our clients, all our friends. Clients are our friends, actually. They end up being our friends.
Happy
Yeah.
Friday.
Happy Friday to you too. Now today's a special day. First of all, I love the intro song. It's the same lyrics that you wrote a while ago for the theme song, right? But you've been putting it to different genres, and that one was really good. Off the floor.
We're going to start off a little slow, and then we're going to end off really fast here, Carrie, when we end off the show. But welcome in, everyone. We got Hammer Bammers in the chat. Good to see beautiful Beauty Harmony. Nicole is back with us. Donna must be a first-time viewer. Who is Glen? That's me. That's me. Hi, Donna. Good to meet you. Who else is here? We've got Bluebell Rose. Oh, don't worry, Bluebell. We've been reading your emails and posts, and we're going to respond to those today. Who else is here?
Coming.
Yeah, keep them coming. Okay, well, let's get started. Today is Friday, so it's the Mystic Compass Decode show. Yeah, we got a lot to talk about today. Today, Friday, June the 20th, we got a couple big topics. We left off the Sylvia Brown because I don't think we're going to get to that today. We'll leave Sylvia possibly for another time. Those of you that are interested in our decode of Sylvia Brown, stay tuned. That'll come up in a future episode. But today, what's in the clouds? Oh, Carrie, when you were young, did you ever go out in the grass and just lay down and just stare at the clouds?
Totally. Did it all the time. Well, that's how I became telepathic. That's a whole nother story, which I think I've shared here actually with my girlfriend Benta. When I was 4, I looked up to the sky and was like, I really want a friend. And I heard a girl's voice. It's a long story, which I won't get into this time, but it was the clouds. I used to just lay there on the grass, 4 years old, looking up at the clouds, talking to the sky.
Yeah, me too. I was a dreamer, still am kind of a dreamer, but it was always fun to look at the clouds. We're going to look at the clouds in a little different way a little later on. Today's episode basically dedicated to a couple of you guys, the viewers that have inspired us to talk about a few things. The cloud topic comes from Pippi, I believe it is, who kind of put Carrie onto some photos. We're going to talk about those. And then the spirit guides, Bluebell, who's in the chat today, had a few questions about spirit guides. So we thought, you know what, let's dedicate a show to those two topics. And if you guys ever have topics, please leave comments about what you would like us to decode and talk about, or send, the admin at Carrie Cohen. What is your email at admin now?
Admin at carriecohan.com.
There you go. Send your questions there and we may get to them. But I love these two topics today. What else? Before we get into things, Carrie, I kind of like doing this where we kind of look at the meaning of today, June 20th, this day in history, a couple big events. We don't remember these. We were not around, but definitely people in the audience know the name Queen Victoria. 18 years old, becoming the Queen of the UK. And you ever watch the movie Jaws?
Oh, yeah.
It may have been the scariest movie of the times. Like it really, people like, and we talk about, they want to create fear. And I mean, look at the two names here, Queen Victoria and Spielberg. That could be a show in itself, couldn't it, Carrie?
We're on YouTube and we're on Facebook right now. So zip the lip. I lost.
We'll just say, have you seen the movie Jaws?
Yeah. Yes. Doo-dum, 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 dum, 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 dum. Everyone remembers that.
You need to be swimming. Like, remember the promo where the girl was swimming and then the shark was at the top?
Don't even go there. That's energy we don't need, because that's what they were doing, was putting that kind of crap out there.
Exactly. Is my hand facing you or is it facing away from you?
Away.
So it's facing. Yeah. Just wondering if my camera is mirrored. Also, you know what? Every day there seems to be a lot of different events, a lot of different holidays. So June the 20th today, for those of you that might be looking for something to celebrate, well, it's I guess I got to show it on the screen here. It's Friday. I guess it's take your dog to work day.
Oh,
we had dogs on our show the other day, didn't we, Carrie?
Yes. Well, how many dogs do you have, Glen and Tammy?
That's a topic for another show. We have a few. We have a few of the beautiful, beautiful 1-year-old puppies out there. So it is Take Your Dog to Work Day. I was an educator, a teacher for over 30 years. Never did I take my dog to work. Probably because I wasn't allowed, but never have taken my dog to work. Have you ever had dogs in your life? Owned pets, dogs?
I just lost my puppy of 18 years old, Bella. She passed away a year and a half ago. Well, actually, almost 2 years ago now already. We were driving through France and she passed away finally. Yeah, she was amazing. She was the best dog. In fact, all my workshops, she used to participate in every workshop and she knew who to go to that had the greatest amount of pain. And she would go and sit with them. And she was a little lap dog. So they would be stroking her as they were telling their story. And she would absorb everything. And at the end of the workshop, every single day, she'd be spent. That poor little thing, she'd just be, so I'd have to raise her up and say, please, dear Lord, bring her back to her natural state. And poof, all that stuff would be gone. And she would be, okay, I'm ready to go again. So we worked as a team for, like I said, 18 years. She was beautiful. Yeah.
Also, when you get home from work, Chad, or if you're if it's the evening right now, don't forget today is Clean Your Drain Day. And Tammy, we need to clear some of our drains.
Tammy's laughing here. She's going, actually, we do.
Yeah, we do. We need to. We have some drains that are a little bit slow in draining, so we will have to do that. Make note. Clean your drain. And Carrie.
Yes.
After the show, I want to celebrate this day by taking you and Tammy on a hike because it's National Hike with a Geek Day. So I have to do my part.
Oh my God.
Take both of you on a hike.
We're geeky. I was geeky in school. Were you? Were you kind of geeky? Yeah.
So was Tammy.
I never fit in. And Tammy? Yeah, totally. Never fit in. I was kind of friends with everyone, but didn't fit into any group. Had a lot of bullies. Had lots of bullies. Oh, not fun. I think
we talked about that last
story.
Episode, I think. So
well, I think that's a story for most of the people that gather here because we're all so different. We're light workers. And so that's part of the growing up process. So yeah, let's hike with a geek day. Yeah, baby. Let's do it.
So yeah, if you're watching this right now, chances are you're a geek or a little bit different. Geek, nerd, weirdo, whatever people might call you. You're part of the Mystic Compass family.
Embrace the geek within you.
That's right.
Yeah.
And also, once you finished your hike, Carrie, then we can sit down because it's National Ice Cream Soda Day. So you can enjoy a nice, refreshing ice cream. But I mean, I know you told me the other day you're not really an ice cream fan, but if you did pick one, it would be vanilla. Is that correct?
Yes, just plain vanilla. Because then you can add stuff to it, right? Mm-hmm.
Gotcha.
Or praline. Right. Praline's good too. Yeah, you were saying it wasn't lime, it was Rocky Road, right? Like your guide, your protector that runs around behind you.
What kind of ice cream was it?
Rocky Road.
That's right. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. With a little bit of mint chocolate chip and a little bit of butterscotch, maybe once in a while.
Yeah. If you're new to the channel, I did a reading for Glen.
Oh, wait till we talk about spirit guides. Wait.
Oh, okay. We're going to hold off on that then.
Hold on off on that. Okay. So you guys in chat, you have your choice what you want to celebrate. Maybe celebrate all 4 of these today. That's Perfect. What we can do on June 20th. Well, next up, speaking of June 20th, if any of you in chat know someone that's celebrating a birthday today, this is the message. People that celebrate their birthday on June 20th, it's within the Gemini zodiac sign, known for duality and adaptability. Individuals born on this date are likely to be intellectually curious and social butterflies. I think Carrie was born a couple days too late. And enjoy diverse interests. They are often quick-witted, enjoy conversations, and have a natural ability to connect with others. So if you are having a birthday.
Yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
A couple comments here. I was an intellectual creative, a band geek. Okay. Hammers, yep, always bullied and too odd to fit. Yeah, we hear you. Carrie and I were talking about that the other day.
Yeah.
What else do we got going on? Expert in Business says, happy birthday, Carrie.
Yeah.
Love-
2 more
love-
days. 2 more.
Love the geek, Helen. All right. And yes, Bluebell says, yes, the winter solstice in the Southern Hemisphere. Well, speaking of birthdays, Carrie, let's move along here. We
Okay.
can't ignore Carrie's birthday coming up
Aw.
in a couple days. So
Yeah.
everyone in chat, we won't be streaming until Tuesday again. So this is kind of the best opportunity to fill the chat with some birthday love for the one, the only Carrie Cohen.
Oh my God, you're funny.
Give her some birthday love, chat. Come on. It is Carrie's birthday.
Aw, you guys are the best. I love that.
Oh, you know,
So
Carrie,
this is what you're working on downstairs. You know, he went and into the cave downstairs there and was working away, and I was wondering, what is he doing? Creating
Yeah. I
birthday
can't
hats.
tell her everything I'm going to show because it would spoil the surprise.
Exactly. Yeah.
Um,
How old is Carrie on the 26th? I will be 61 years old.
no,
Yeah, baby. 61.
this is not a 61-year-old. Well,
Yeah.
there's proof. There's proof that you're as old as you want to be, right? You
Yeah.
portray
You're
what you want to be.
for
Because
sure.
I'm 83. So
Are you really? Oh my
Yeah,
God, I would have
yeah.
never guessed that. And I'm psychic. I should have known. Gosh.
So yeah, if you it's just a number, folks.
Yeah.
Only a simple number.
Yeah.
So Carrie,
You know-
I was responsible for picking up your cake. Tammy gave me that responsibility and said, you know what? You've been working with Carrie. Maybe you should go grab her a cake. So I did the best I could here. I think it turned
Aw.
out really well. What do you think?
You're dyslexic, aren't you? Happy birthday, Harry.
Did they do a good job on that?
That's a very good, yeah. That would be something I would have made. Mhm.
I thought, you know, I dropped by Timmy's on the way home and when I picked up the cake and
Oh,
put a few on there
even
for you. So,
you even included Timmy's
Yeah.
sour cream donuts there, or tidbits. That's
they're
really
not
fun.
on the cake anymore. The dogs got them. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I'm going with. The dogs got them.
That's the story. Got it.
So yes, happy birthday, Carrie
Yeah.
Cohen. May you continue to spread love and light throughout the world in your journey.
Thank
Well,
you, dear.
speaking of another little birthday present for Carrie, we've kind of teased about this, but on Carrie's birthday,
Mhm.
we have decided, well, I decided, Carrie didn't know at the time, but I've decided to put a lot of the music that we are playing on the channel, and we are going to release the Mystic Compass album. Yeah, Mystic
Woo!
Compass album on Amazon. It is right now. You can get it on iTunes or Apple Music on
Okay.
pre-order. So that's just one way you can support us. If you enjoy the music that we play, the fun that we have, please go to Amazon Music on Sunday. It should be up there, and it's already up on iTunes. Maybe Tammy can leave a link there in the chat for those that use Apple products. Just put in Mystic Compass soundtrack, and it should come up in the pre-order section. And yeah, we would love if you would support us and listen to the tunes that we've created to
Oh,
keep you rocking and bopping.
there's some good songs on there.
Oh,
It makes me
Carrie.
choke up.
Oh, how
Yes.
about we show the little teaser? Okay, here
Oh,
we go.
could we? Okay.
We're sent to wake up each other's sleeping soul.
If I leave it for us both to make amends, may I lift her up and be that gem, 'cause I've come to know she's heaven sent. And Every broken moment fell into place. And I remember me, not who I was, but who I came to be. A new start. Oh, take me back where the Guinness flows, where laughter rings and shamrocks grow, to the emerald hills and my mother's eyes.
Carrie, the healer, the sage, the light, guiding the lost through the darkest night with tarot's truth.
So there
Wow.
you go.
Wow. There's so many favorites on there. I love I Remember Me. I love that one. And something about above. What was the other one? I wrote these
Yeah.
except for the theme song. You wrote the theme song and um,
From above or something from above.
yeah, something above. If I Return from Above.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
that
many
was
good
really-
songs.
Yeah. And the Celtic one. The Celtic one is so awesome because my time in Ireland and England, the UK, you know, it really it was so inspiring. I was actually Googling what are the things that Ireland is known for. And I got 7 things, and one of them was Guinness. I was like, well, take me back to where the Guinness flows, right? It's like, oh, it was just such a natural, it was so much fun. Anyways, had a blast writing them. So I hope you enjoy them. And had even a bigger blast with Glen when he was able to put it all together and compose them, and the different genres, the different music. Absolutely incredible. It was a lot of fun.
And there are a couple bonus songs on there as well. There's a couple versions of I Remember Me, one of
Yeah.
Carrie's favorite songs. And so, yeah,
Mhm.
please help support us there. We've priced it, you know, a lot lower than most CDs that you will get out there
Yep.
for you guys. Or if you just want to get some individual tracks, you can do those as well. So, yes, the Mystic Compass soundtrack, Volume 1. Hopefully, we can put out more in the future. So, please check it out. Amazon Music on Sunday, and currently available pre-order wise, iTunes and iMusic.
Yeah, that'll be
Also-
a nice birthday gift for us. Thank you very much for your support. Woohoo!
Yes, on Carrie's birthday, absolutely. Other ways that you can support us, just want to run through these really quickly for those that are new, because I know I see a few new names here. Any little thing that you can do really does help out, whether it's financially, whether it's just subscribing and following on YouTube or Twitch. We've mentioned that we're kind of going to try and get away from Facebook first, and then probably kind of wean off YouTube and go strictly to Twitch. So if you haven't got over to Twitch yet, it's just like YouTube. It's just like Rumble. It's just like Facebook. It's a platform, twitch.tv. You sign up and you create an account. Easy to do. Also, just leaving a like and comment, like that really helps the algorithms. Like if a lot of likes and a lot of comments, YouTube will push that video further up for others to see it. So that really helps. Share this video out to others. You know, if you know someone that, you know, might want a good laugh once in a while, might want to get into the mystic component of life. Maybe they're waking up a little bit, or you want to guide them on their journey. Please share this video out. That really helps. And of course, you can help us a little financially with subscribing on Twitch. You get ad-free viewing if you do that. And it's $4.99, cup of coffee. Or if you're an Amazon Prime member, you can use that to subscribe to us for free. So we get a little bit of the Bezos money, and you don't have to pay anything because you're an Amazon Prime member. And Tammy will leave the link for a little 1-minute video on how you can do that in the description there. So click on that if you want to link your Amazon Prime to Twitch, and then you can give us your free subscription. Also, purchase the album, and it will be $7.99 American. That would really help us out. And finally, go visit Carrie's website. Um, Beautiful, beautiful opportunities to guide you along your path. Books available there, her book. And also, you can sign up for online courses. You can sign up for a reading. You can book a reading with Carrie, like many have you have done. And the testimonials, Carrie, on your website are just outstanding. And not only, you don't have to read a testimonial, just watch our videos, the testimonials that you guys have given Carrie right
Yeah.
here.
Amazing. Yeah. As well, on my website, I have a free gift for everyone. So you just go over there and it's right at the very top. It says, get your free gift. And it's a visualization and meditation for financial wealth. It's a hypnotic visualization that I created many years ago because I was struggling financially at the time. And within like 24 hours, things started. 48 hours, things really started. Within 3 weeks, I was a different person, especially financially. So I would invite you to go get that free gift. You just put in your email address, and in return, you get this wonderful meditation. Download it, and you can play it anytime, any place, anywhere, on your phone, on the computer, whatever. I would suggest that you listen to it every single day for 21 days. And at the end of 3 weeks, you'll be a different person completely. It's all about affirmations. So it's just me saying an affirmation, and then you say it in your mind, and then I say another, and you say it in your mind or say it out loud. But it's effective. Glen.
Okay. And I just checked on Twitch, and Beauty Harmony subscribed to us and followed us on Twitch.
Yay.
So thank you. Thank you so much, Beauty Harmony. You're amazing. And as we always do, when we get a subscription on Twitch, the best part of subscribing to us is you get to see us dance.
Yeah.
So this one's for you, Beauty Harmony.
You're simply the best. Thank you for your support of the Mystic Compass team. Carrie and Glen give you a big love and high five. Oh.
Yay. You're the best.
Simply the best. Thank you, Beauty Harmony, for supporting us. Okay, so go check out Carrie's website. Again, you can find a lot of information, including the online workshops. For $50, you get 2.5 days of a very intense but very, very spiritual
Enough
workshop.
of all that stuff. Yeah. And let's get into the stuff. Let's get into what we're doing today. Yeah. Because people know about the online workshops and
There's some
the other
new
workshops.
people.
And if you don't, yeah, well, go to the website, and I'm doing an online workshop on July 5th and 6th, and a live workshop on July 17, 18, 19th, or 18, 19, 20th, sorry, here in Edmonton, St. Albert area. So,
All right, let's get to it.
Okay. Well,
Topic number one.
Yeah.
We talked about looking at the clouds and finding things in the clouds. Maybe who was it that sent you a photograph that inspired this?
Pippi. And so Pippi, don't let everyone know here what I was saying about it yet. We're going to ask them to have feedback on this.
Right.
So.
We got a little bit of audience participation here. So this was the photograph that Pippi sent Carrie, and it's again real photograph from the storm chasers in Canada. That's all we'll say for now, because there's a big wow moment coming up later.
Yeah.
Stay tuned.
So I actually phoned the photographer, or wrote the photographer of this image and said, "Did you take this picture?" And she said, "Yes, I took it just before the rain really started to come in." And then I found another video corresponding to it that showed where the eye was just starting to form. So yeah, it's powerful. And I think that this captured something very, very unique. And that's what we want to ask you guys about.
So leave in chat, what do you guys see in the clouds? Like, what do you see positivity, negativity? Maybe we'll start with that. Do you see this as a positive image, a negative image? And then specifically, are you able to decode and see anything within the storm that we see here. So we'll put it full screen and leave it up for a few seconds.
Can you go into it a bit more? Can you expand it a bit more?
Yeah.
There you go. What do you see there? Put it in the comments, guys. What else? Who else? Yeah. So a lot
Usually
of
a little
people,
bit of a lag, so we'll give them a few
yeah,
more seconds, Carrie, because sometimes we're on like a 10-second lag, so
for sure.
might
A
take a
lot of
while.
people
People
are
are
seeing
typing away.
faces. Yeah, but what kind of face is that? A lion. Very good. Mm. What else? Yeah. Mm-hmm. A head, a lion, a chieftain with a massive headdress. Looks like a person with wings. Hmm. Well, I'm kind of
Okay.
surprised. I'm not surprised because our group is extremely enlightened, right? So another is saying an eagle face down with outstretched wings. what what one of the persons that we were talking about with this, they saw evil. They saw what would be the D word, right? And you can see the eye right in the center, and to the bottom is the nose, and then the teeth and the chin. And I looked at it and went, actually, no. The D, who I met in my near-death experience, I came toe to toe with him. He has reptilian eyes. He has ones that undulate. They're hypnotic, right? These eyes are round. And I looked at it and I thought, what is that? And I heard and saw very clearly, it's a blue avian. This is celestial. This is a blue avian. Now, the blue avian on the left-hand side with the hand symbol, that is someone, as in England, they would say taking the piss, right? That is someone using a hand symbol that, again, is not positive and putting it on a being that is all about peace, all about love, all about, everything that we would want to be. This is what a blue avian is. They are the peacekeepers. They're the observers. They study. They understand humanity. And so in this image of it in the storm, I thought that was really interesting because they don't usually interfere. The blue avians, they're more observers than anything. They don't usually come in and clean up. But that's what I saw in that cloud. That's what it's doing. It's actually cleaning up, because if you look at the stream that's going up, 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 do you want to get into that part yet, or should we do it later?
No, we can talk about this picture now. So again,
Sure.
you kind of pointed out the plumes when we were talking about it.
Yeah.
The feathers of the plumes. So we see them 1, 2, 3,
Yeah.
and most of the chat kind of portrayed positive images, which was good.
Absolutely.
Didn't
Yeah.
see any negative ones really there at all. I mean, it
No,
has a mean face, but it's doing its work, right?
totally.
It's we
It's
see up in the
sucking
top
up.
left-hand corner like a
It
skull.
it literally is sucking up negative entities and energies and bringing them up through that plume. If you look up the picture, if you look all the way up, you'll see two faces going up into the sky. And the small square on the side kind of shows them. One is, I see the one that Glen is pointing at, I see it as a profile with like a skull. So there's an eye and a wide open mouth, and it's like screaming, going, ah, going up, right? And then the other one, top left, that's an actual skull. It's no doubt. You can see the skull as it's being lifted up. So if you want, you can actually screen, screen share. What's a cut, where you cut the image out? save the image.
You can
Yeah.
snip it or save it. Yeah.
Snip it. Yeah, snip it, save it, whatever.
Screenshot it.
And
Yeah.
yeah, and then you can actually look at it in great detail because this is profound. You know, in all the stuff that's going on in the world right now, this has come in. This is a blue avian, a celestial being that has come in, and you can see that it is bringing up all that negativity, all the negative entities and energies up through its columns and bringing it up from whence they came. So the darkness is up above because it's literally lifted it, and where its mouth is, beak, that's not actually a mouth. What it looks like a nose is the top part of the beak, and then the bottom part of the beak, and its mouth is completely wide open, and it's sucking up. You can actually see like streams coming into its mouth, and that's what it's sucking up and bringing it up into the, you know, from whence they came. It's returning that negative entities and energies. Yeah.
And the
So
light is rising, right? As it's sucking up these negative entities, we see the light coming in,
mhm.
and it's rising up, right?
Yeah. And then shortly after that, the rains came and cleansed everything. And then the sun, you know, lifted as well. So
Really recommend you take a screenshot of this chat because again, there's
mhm.
3 very distinct negative entities, one there, one right here with the skull, and then there's another skull right here. It's very faint,
Yeah.
but there is the 2 eyes, the nose, the mouth, another skull there. And the timing of this photograph, like I said, this is a real photograph. This was
Mhm.
taken and not photoshopped or anything. So to get that exact image a few seconds later, would not have seen this the same way.
Totally. Totally. What was the girl's name? Was it Destiny or something like that, wasn't it? The one that took
I
the
think
yeah.
something like that. Yeah.
We want to give her credit. It was Destiny Delowski. And thank you, Destiny, because we had a communication back and forth. And I actually wrote her and I said, you know, I have a podcast. Can I share this picture? And did you take it? And she said, yes, of course you can use it. Um, it's I was standing outside the store and it looks and took this picture quickly because it was starting to pour, and boy did it ever rain. And I had to skip a part out there because we want to share that with you later.
Yeah.
But
Like I
yeah,
said, there's a wow moment coming up, and it's going to connect everything together with this storm.
everything.
And you'll see even more so how this is a positive entity, you know, sucking up the negative. So
Yeah,
we're going to go on for a few more pictures. Same storm, same area.
yeah.
And, you know,
In
as we were
Saskatchewan.
working on this yesterday, Carrie and I were sitting beside each other, and Carrie was bringing up the pictures, and she said, "Oh, here's another one of the storm." And we both looked at it and like, "Did you see that?
Do
Did you
you
see
see
that?
that?
Do you see that?"
Turning it sideways, turning it this way.
So here's the next one. What do you see, chat? We'll leave it on the screen for a few seconds.
Yeah. So this is in Saskatchewan, and it was a storm that came in. It was on the Saskatchewan storm. Do you remember the name
Storm
of the
tracker or
storm
something like
tracker?
that.
That's it. Yep. Saskatchewan Storm Tracker, and it's a Facebook page. So we were able to find all of these images there. And can you see the face there? Right in the middle of a photo. Yep, there's faces, yeah. But there's a big face right there. There's an eye, and a little mouth kind of going sideways, like, right? And it looks kind of cute, but is it? What's your feeling on that one?
Again, we talked about this yesterday, and my first impression, my intuitiveness said it's, you know, remember the movie Gremlins where they look cute and fuzzy, and then you get them wet and they and then they turn against you. That's what this reminded me of, that cute Furby, like the Furby, and it's trying to draw you in, right? It's trying to, oh, come over here, come towards me. But I think this is a negative entity portraying
Yeah.
itself as a positive entity because it's dark, right? We don't see a lot of light, and it's the
No.
darkest part of the cloud.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay, so let me ask, is this a negative entity? Yes or no? No. Is it a positive entity? Yes or no? Meh. It's not really either or. Is it a combined energy from thought? That's more like it. This is like a cumulative energy from humanity, I want to say, from Earth, that is being lifted and portrayed outwardly. So is this energy from humanity? Yes or no? It's stronger. It's like 70-80%. So is it negative energy then from humanity's thoughts? 100%. So you're right, but it's not an actual negative entity. It's not something from a foreign, like another galaxy or another planet. It hasn't come here as a negative entity to suck up energy and feed off. This is it just is, right? So it's sort of like a trapped soul that just wanders. So we need to.
And there's other things in this image as well. I mean, if you look real closely, I haven't zoomed up on him, but if you do look real close, or maybe I have, yeah, there's the eyes.
Wow,
A little
look
bit
at
closer.
that. See, all seeing
And
eyes.
again, we saw it right away. And there's some other things too, little tougher to see, but
faces. Yeah.
Yeah, ghostly image there with the eyes and the nose and the mouth. Another like an alien-like shape right down here in the bottom corner. So it's not just the eyes, but if you look carefully, again, and you're intuitive and you can see these things, it's like, wow, like real photograph snapped at the right time. What's going on? And the wow moment is coming. Carrie and I know what was going on. We'll show you in a second here.
What I see in that is more sadness. Like those eyes, they just look like they're trying to put a happy face on, but inside really sad. And so let's join together in lifting that cloud up. Literally, we're going to disperse that cloud with love and joy, see the sunshine coming in, and just lift that whole stuck energy and give it up to Creator. There, you can feel it being lifted up. Lift it up, up, up. Creator reaches down, and instantly you can let that picture go now then, because that picture's gone. Yeah, there we go. That lifts. Well done, guys. So we have a couple more though, don't we?
Yes, we do. Next up, something came to mind as soon as I saw this one here. Let chat kind of take a look at it. Kind of an interesting photo. What do you think, chat? What do you see? What comes to mind?
What we saw was a lot of spirits there and streams of light and the rainbow, of course. So what did you see, Glen?
The first thing that I saw was either souls coming down to earth or souls going up. Like I just saw each of those little puffs as like a soul.
Yeah.
And you can kind of make out faces on some of them too. Like you can kind of see them as faces. I don't know if they're leaving or coming up. That part I did not.
Okay, so muscle test, everyone. Are they leaving? Yes or no? Are they coming back to earth? Yes or no? No, it feels like they're leaving. They're being lifted up after the storm. It's like everything's it's actually like the eyes in that sad cloud. It's all of that energy lifting up, and then the rainbow comes through, right? Clarity. Beautiful. Earth and fairy spirits. Excellent. Hammer Bammer, I agree. Yeah, it's like all the spirits just lifting up and being released. Yeah.
Yeah, what an image. We do have a couple more here. Next,
sort of like orbs, the energy that you see. Yeah.
This one here, again from the same storm in Saskatchewan. Zoomed in a couple areas.
We won't say what I saw. I see.
Yeah. Very smiling for a reason, because her mind went there. Yeah.
It did too. Oh God. Well, that's usually what they say.
Okay, let's bring civility back to the chat here, Carrie.
Oh Lord.
Yeah, we had some laughs when Carrie was saying, "Oh, do you see that?" And I'm like,
It's right there. Can you not see that?
"No, no,
Oh, it's
Carrie, I
funny.
can't."
Okay.
All right, so what do you see, chat? I've kind of zoomed in on the two areas where I saw some definite images, but there's other things as well.
Mhm. You can see two other faces there, definitely. One looks like a pit bull, the lower one. Uh, that one looks like a pit bull to me. It's got very far apart eyes and big muzzle, right? Tongue sticking out. Yeah. And if you look at the bigger picture where the pit bull's face is, it actually looks like four legs or the two legs, right? There's one in the front, one in the other front, and then could be one in the back or something else. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, once you see it as a pit bull, you can't unsee it. Like you see
Yeah.
the eyes, the
Yeah.
nose, here's that dark muzzle
Mhm.
around it, tongue sticking
Yeah.
out, and then yeah, the
Yeah.
legs.
And then the
And
one
then
up
I saw
above.
the top one as another maybe like another avian kind of figure.
Yeah.
It because you
Bird-like.
see the plumes, bird, yeah, birdish at least, yeah,
Mhm.
absolutely.
Yeah. Has a beak and eyes that are almost to the side of the head, which is avian-like. Mhm. And the plumes. Yeah.
And then
And then
there's
there's
something up here,
exactly. Yeah, another face up there.
like a almost like a duck or like a if I think of a
Mhm.
baseball cap with its curved rim, that's with the sunglasses on it. That's kind of what I see here.
I see the sunglasses as eyes with a big open
Yeah.
mouth. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But at any rate, what we were wanting to show you is that there is definitely something going on, and it has been for forever, for millennia. Because you think back to when we were little kids, we used to look at these things and go, oh, there's a cow going across in the clouds or an alligator, in the clouds. And there is a famous YouTuber, truther, he does shorts on Facebook, especially, and he sees dragons in the sky. So he believes that we have a firmament, we have a dome that is across, the planet, and that there's water on the other side, which there's a lot of evidence to all of that. And he believes that that's where the dragons live and they cross the sky. This feels like they've come more into our our dome as such, our land. And look at this one. That one looked to me like a piranha, but with wings. You can actually see, or some kind of fin, but has an open mouth, eye, and a huge part of the head. And piranhas have that big, like a cerebral uh, curvature. Yeah. What do you guys see in that? Hmm.
Yeah, Carrie and I differed on this one a little bit. I saw like almost like a dinosaur, kind of like a stegosaurus, kind
Yeah.
of a big, bulky with the spikes on and things like that with the head. But Carrie saw the prawn, and I can see both. I can see the piranha shape as well. But again,
Hmm.
this feels more like a darker entity though, Carrie, because it is
It is.
darker at the bottom and it's coming into the earth.
Yeah. 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 Is it a dark entity? Yes or no? Yeah. You don't have to. Absolutely. Is it light? No. No. So, and that's the spiritual battle that we've got going on right now. We think that it's just us here on earth and we're, concerned about what's going on in the Middle East. There is a whole bigger battle going on. And someone was just saying, yeah, Hammer Bammer saying, yeah, it feels darker. You can see, you can feel it. Looks like a big creature, like, that's just eating up stuff. Yeah.
And one more picture, Carrie. This one had a lot in it as well. Just a very fantastic, very visual
Wow.
picture here. But wow, look at this one, chat. Look at this storm. Look at the layers of the dark cloud there. But within there,
Hmm.
a lot of different images, chat. What do you see on this one? Give you a few seconds again. Anything stand out in terms of shapes?
Hmm. It's funny because I can hear the cat in the background. I don't know if you can hear. Tammy and Glen have the most amazing cat. She is a hunter, and she goes and gets stuffed animals downstairs, and she'll hunt them, and she'll bring them up in her mouth, and she'll cry like this, as if to say, "Look, I've got a kill. I found, I killed a mouse or something like that." So she puts out this call to the other cats, and it's a couple times a day, and it's the sweetest thing. But I think it's also, there's no accidents. So she's doing this call as we're talking about the spiritual battles, right? So she's calling out there. She just finished. Look at that. She's calling out as if to say, look at that. I won, I won, I won. Right. And we're talking about a spiritual battle. So funny, no accidents in life.
And you know what's real freaky with that, Carrie? Like just the timing. This is the image.
I forgot. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
This is the image. Let's see if I can find it right here in the top part. As soon as I saw this, it stood out to me. A cat's face. See the cat ears, the cat eyes, the cat nose, and the cat with a mouse in its mouth.
I forgot about that. Yeah.
And the cat was just meowing behind you as it had
gotten a mouse.
Yeah, with a mouse.
Not a real mouse, a stuffed animal. Yeah.
So that was, talk about, oof.
Wow.
Ooh,
Wow.
that's
Confirmation, guys.
Oops.
Yeah, it's confirmation. Yeah, it's confirmation. Definitely. Yeah. Oh, I see it now. I see the eyes and the little ears at you can't see the top left-hand ear, but the right-hand ear, I guess you can see a little bit. But
and then the mouse.
Yeah, and then the mouse. Yeah. And even the tongue is sticking out of the mouse. Yeah. Little tongue. Yeah.
The eyes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, that is a freaky one. And then many other things.
Yeah.
Many other things in that picture as well that we kind of circled. What did you see here in the middle, Carrie?
A gorilla. Yeah. It's kind of a profile looking down. And so you can see the big eye and the smaller eye the smaller eye goes to the right. Big eye. And then to the right, there's a smaller eye, that little slit. And then the nose is down below it and the teeth. Yeah. It's hard when, that's going towards the nose.
I kind of saw it a different, like it was facing towards the left with the big eye here, and then maybe a hidden eye and the nose, and then the teeth.
Yeah, I can see that too.
I kind of see that, but similar,
I see it looking down over the city. It's looking down. That's what
very dark entity there. But again, the light coming up. And I noticed this one too. And then I showed Carrie and she's like, yeah, the one in the bottom left chat. Before we say it, there's this little image in the bottom left.
Kind of hard to see, but yeah. I love how everyone's putting comments in the chat. That's awesome. Yeah. So with dark ears, top of the head. Yeah. Barnacles too. Wow. Yeah, but can you see that face? Now, ETs usually have really big eyes, but some of them can actually open and close their eyes, and that looks like slit eyes where they're looking down. But that very much looks like an alien. And it was actually Glen that pointed it out. He was like, doesn't that look like an ET in the corner? I was like, oh my gosh, yeah, I can see it. Yeah, but eyes are very unusual.
Yeah, when you watch mainstream media and they show you like aliens, like the gray alien, this is like X-File right there. X-Files for me. It's like, oh man, that is so obvious. One of those aliens.
Yeah. I've met lots of aliens in my lifetime. I've met quite a few. So many stories about them. That's another show.
So let's wrap this all up and the wow moments. Like Carrie and I were going through these photos all from the same storm system in Saskatchewan. And we're like, well, we better tell people where it's from. And so we
Yeah.
brought up a map, and Carrie looked
You
at where it was from.
No,
And
you questioned. You turned to me and you went, "Where is it from?" And I went, and I named it. And then I went, "Oh, oh my God."
and this was my reaction. Carrie was like, "Yeah, Carrie, let's find out where this is from." And she named it. She named it, and then I
And then I
looked at
went,
her and I went,
"Oh my God." And he was like, and then he did that. He was like, "Oh my goodness me." Okay, so are you going to tell everyone where
"All right."
it was taken?
So this storm was in a little place east of Saskatoon called Evergreen, Saskatchewan.
Evergreen. Do you guys know the significance of evergreen? Do you remember HC? Right? Owning the shipping line, Evergreen. Isn't that interesting? So this whole storm, energetic battle, where blue avians were coming in and sucking up all these negative entities, energies, all of that. It was all in a small community with the same name. And it's all about energy here, folks, right? Isn't that ever given? Love it. Thomas, that was brilliant. Ever given. Yes.
I'm still stunned, Carrie. I mean,
Yeah.
it just connects everything from that storm, everything we talked about with the entities,
Yep.
the avian, everything just all comes together, and it was in this little community. Like, what are the odds?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Amazing. Oh, one thing before we end off on this, you were talking about the avians. Let me go back here.
Mm-hmm.
For those not familiar with them, you mentioned another type of avian as well.
Yeah, celestial avians. Yeah, they're similar. A lot of people would think that they're like a phoenix, but they're very different. Different beings completely, actually. Phoenix were more Egyptian based, in history, mythology, whereas the celestial blue avian, they're not actually blue. They're kind of a golden, shimmery color, and they're an entity from, not an entity, a ET being from another plane, another place, 12th dimension, 6th dimension. Yeah. So the celestial avians are from the 9th and 12th. The blue avians are from the 6th and 9th dimension. There you go. So bit of a difference in the appearance, but all of them are telepathic. They're all about love, divine, nature. They're observers normally. They study. They are the knowledge keepers. They are the ones that they guide us, and they really focus on peace and love. So they're guardians in many respects. But having said that, I think that celestial blue avians, the golden ones, often come in and they can actually take action if they need to. And I think that's what we saw in that cloud. I don't think that was actually a blue avian. I think that was a golden celestial avian, blue avian.
Especially with the light at the, if I can find that picture again, that light,
There.
right? The golden light at the bottom.
Totally. Yeah. And blue avians don't usually interfere ever. They are, like I said, observers. Whereas Phoenix, absolutely, that will come in and clean stuff out, right? They are powerful. Phoenix is everything. It's just pure love. And yeah. Okay, and so the purpose of the golden avian is to serve as a record keeper, which I was saying, DNA decoder or coders, and they are. Let me get this closer.
Emissaries of divine
Emissaries
will.
of divine will. Yes, Yes. So they support you in free will, but they also guide you in many ways. And so that leads to why we were, it's funny how all this just flows together today, doesn't it? Because we were talking about spirit guides today, but yeah, celestial, avian, profound spiritual, beings. They're
Initiations.
galactic. Yeah. Yeah. They're
So they,
galactic
they, they
beings.
often show up during profound spiritual initiation. So was that storm one of those situations of a profound spiritual initiation, a galactic awakening, soul mission?
Getting a very strong yes. Hugely strong yes. So it was a galactic awakening, absolutely, because people are praying. So I don't know if there was a lot of churches there. It seemed to be, as
Yeah.
soon as we opened it up, there were lots of really strong, vibrant churches in the town itself. Yeah, there you go. Right. So perhaps that community has prayed so much. Well, that would make sense with the cloud that was so sad, right? The collective thought. They were literally cleansing it, letting it go. And then we see the next picture where it's all dispersed and the rainbow's coming through now. Oh my gosh, it all makes sense, doesn't it? So, yeah, it's a galactic awakening, a galactic shift, transmutation, a transference of energy. And it was willed by the people, I believe. So that would be the only reason why a celestial being like this would come in and take the action that it did there, because there were enough people praying for peace. And there you go.
And it's amazing, Carrie, because 3 days ago, 4 days ago, we weren't planning this conversation. So
No,
when I read at the bottom, noble trait, they're activators, they trigger remembering, soul purpose, and quantum leaps in consciousness. I feel like we are part of that because we are kind of, we're educating or we're informing the viewers. And that's part of that whole growing of the awakening process and collective consciousness, isn't it?
it truly is. And on top of that, it was 2 days ago. I woke up in the morning and I thought, okay, I really will this podcast to go out to the masses. I want to see this podcast like just go and help people raise their vibration, a massive shift, right? This is what I desire. So I set the intention that we are now stepping into the timeline that is for our best and highest good and for all concerned. And so it is with ease and grace. I intend that now, activate it now. And I felt this like, this energy come out of me. It was a stream of energy that went forward. And I thought, oh my gosh, I think we actually shifted timelines. And so came upstairs and talked to these two, right? To Glen and his wife, Tammy. Tammy's to my side. She started off as my assistant originally. And then I met Glen and it was like, oh my God, podcast, let's do it. So anyways, I came upstairs and I was like, wow, something profound happened. Tammy had the most amazing day. Glen and I got together and all of a sudden discovered all of this, from one of our listeners, because she sent the picture originally, said, what do you think about this? And it just unfolded. It's like pulling a thread,
And to add to that, Carrie, we have someone in chat saying, hello, collective. I'm new here, but I like to share that I'm extremely connected with the cloud beings and have lots of pretty cool photos in which they have so kindly posed for or wrote messages. So that's amazing.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Please share them. We'd love to see them. Tammy, can you put our email address up? And if you wouldn't mind sending all those photos to us, because this will be an ongoing thing for us, I'm sure. But we thought this was so profound that it was linked to HC with Evergreen. And what a cleansing, it's a collective of all that thought and disbursement, transmutation of it. Wow. Pretty amazing stuff, right? So we're never alone. The thought is, whoa, right? We're never alone. And all that crap that's been going on, off it goes. Um,
Okay. That was I love that discussion. I love the research we did yesterday. We were just like every few minutes, like, whoa, 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 whoa. And then the big one at the end with the tie to Evergreen is like, whoa, we gotta talk about that, Carrie.
yeah, it
So
just
yeah.
it really came together as one beautiful package, and it was like we were detectives and starting to go, well, wait a minute, what about this and what about that? It's pretty
And
cool.
when you think about it, look at the bottom. It made me think of this, right?
Mm, right.
You know that famous quote
Exactly.
by
Exactly.
the president? Yeah. Is it here
Is
now?
the storm
Are
upon
we
us?
at that time?
Mm.
Well, it
Well,
definitely was upon Evergreen to cleanse,
yeah,
to lift up the dark entities. So
I think that they prayed, but good, because when we come collectively, we know the power of prayer, right? And when we come together collectively, we can shift the clouds. We can move mountains, as the Bible says. I don't know much about the Bible, but I know that one, that we have the ability to move mountains. So we choose. And so in this moment, I believe that the people of Saskatchewan, especially the people of Evergreen, set the intention so strong. I don't know if it was maybe a pastor in a church there or a minister in a church there that did a sermon that was so moving, so riveting. This is my gut feeling, is that it literally conjured up hope and faith and love and desire for a new way of living. And so the universe responded in kind, literally in kindness. Mm.
well, Thomas says you two expose some excellence, referring to the movie from this picture here. What a movie that was, Thomas, back in the day, right? Bill
Yeah.
and Ted. Oh,
Yeah.
Keanu Reeves, a young Keanu Reeves, and I believe, at least in my heart, I feel like he is one of the good ones. That he
Mm.
is at least trying to be a good one. But yeah, Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure.
Actually, you know what? I shouldn't say that because, okay, let's muscle test. Is Keanu Reeves a white hat? Is he on the side of God, creator? Yes or no? Yeah. Is he a dark hat? Is he part of the elite? Yes or no? It feels like he's a double agent. Like he does both, little bit of both. Yeah,
Yeah.
but more light. So he might be playing with the dark in order to just play along, but really he's light. He has a good soul, good heart.
And Valerie says, you make a great detective team. Well, you can be Sherlock and I'll be Watson.
Okay, I like that.
Okay. We got to get you a hat. And do you smoke a pipe, Carrie?
No, I've smoked a few cigars in my time, but never a pipe.
No pipe. Okay. Well, maybe
No,
that's in your future. I don't know. All
yeah.
right. Well, we've got one more topic to get through today. Thank you guys for, for listening along for this first one. We really enjoyed investigating that. We have our Twitch community as well. Thank you to our Twitch community. We got some follows from Noel. Thank you, Noel. And also
Yay.
from, as I mentioned earlier, Beauty Harmony and Karen M. Canada followed
Hmm.
as well. So thank you, Karen, if you're watching right now. Next topic, we got one more topic for you. And this is again based on a viewer request, and that has to do with spirit guides. So we're going to get into some spirit guide talk here. And Carrie, you maybe best place to start is the simple kind of description of what a spirit guide is.
Well, I
Those
can.
that know nothing about it.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, non-physical being. I can only speak from my own experience. Okay. And I've met a lot of spirit guides in my time, and I can see spirit guides behind people. Um, Everyone has one spirit guide that is definitely with them from birth to death. They're there for the entire cycle with you. And then other spirit guides will come along the way, at various junctions to help you. They're like a counselor, and they help guide you along the way. Very different from angels. That often is a question. What's the difference between an angel and a spirit guide? Well, angels, most of them, well, no, all of them, I don't believe have been earthbound. They have not taken on a human form before, whereas spirit guides, many of them have actually been in the human form before, so they have a very different understanding of what the human experience is. The other thing about spirit guides is not all of them have been in a human experience. Many of them are also celestial beings. They are ascended masters, and those are really beautiful to work with. They're here for your best and highest good. All spirit guides, let me be clear, all spirit guides are here for your best and highest good. They're here to guide you. They're here to keep you on path and to gently nudge you. They do not dictate. They do not force their opinion upon you. They just gently nudge you along the way. And they don't interfere unless you actually ask for help. And then they'll step in, and boy, will they'll help. It's quite beautiful. Whereas angels, they will interfere if they need to. Great story is when I lost custody of my youngest daughter, and I cried for 3 days, and a 7-foot angel showed up at the end of my bed. And she basically said, "Don't you understand? This is for the best and highest good of everyone concerned," and kind of lectured me a little bit in a very loving way. But I was having an argument with an angel saying, "No, don't you understand?" She goes, "No, don't you understand that this is for, God has a greater plan. This is for the best of everyone concerned. You need to have this in your life right now, although it's killing you and so painful." She didn't say that, but that's what I was feeling. And so angels will interfere if they need to. They will actually just show up and say, "Okay, enough, come on now, back on track. This is why things are happening," or they'll save you. If you're in a car accident or something, angel will come in and they'll save you. They'll stop the accident from being fatal, whatever it may be. That's the difference between the two. Think of an angel as a paramedic, and think of a spirit guide as a counselor or a mentor. That's really the difference between the two. Okay, Glenn, I went off on a big tangent there.
Oh, that's okay. That's okay. Because again, some people are learning about this for the first time. And just to wrap up, because we got getting some comments in from the previous segment there, so I don't want to miss these. Thomas says about Keanu Reeves, he's freaking smooth. Like, have a balance between both.
Yeah.
Cheryl says, I believe that Keanu is playing with the dark hats with the help of the divine, which kind of Carrie alluded to there. Ali Alchemist said that when I view my photos, she looks at the clouds a lot. And when she looks at them for the first time, she instantly sees things. And that's how we were yesterday. Like, they were so powerful. We saw things instantly in those photos everywhere. So thank you, Alchemy. And thanks for sending those photos. Let's see if we're missing anything.
Have a gift. You definitely have a gift, because not everyone can see. And I would suggest that you expand upon that gift, because it really is a beautiful blessing. So help others and start teaching. It's a real calling for you. Don't let you've been kind of just enjoying your gift, but it's time to share it with others, honey. Okay? Yeah.
And if you guys do have questions about your spirit guides, please tune in either on Tuesday or Wednesday. That's when Carrie does her live readings. That's when she'll have some time to kind of look into that. But Alchemist, yeah, you just sound like an amazing person that does have a gift. And as Carrie said, it's time. It is time to use it and spread the word. Okay, let's talk about your spirit guide, because I'm sure chat would like to know a little bit about who is a spirit guide for Carrie Cohen.
Ah, yes. So this is Chief Running Bear, and I have a fun story about this one. I had always known that I had a native spirit guide, since I was little. And it never made sense to me because I didn't know I was Native at the time. And it wasn't until my mom was passed and I was in my 40s that that I found out that I was actually Native. So I'm off in England. I met my second husband, Lindsay, and he lived in Darlington at the time in England. And so we're driving down the road and I saw a spiritualist church and I was so craving to find people that were like me. You know, when you're away from your community for so long, and I was really going through, I was like, oh my God, it's a spiritualist church. You got to stop, because spiritualist churches often will have psychics and, you know, mediums and stuff. So off he parks and we go inside. And this beautiful older woman, gray hair, named Jane, she was, I believe she was at a desk. Yeah, she was at a desk and she looked up at me and she goes, huh, did you know that you have a big Indian behind you? And I was like, yeah. And I looked over at Lynn's because I had been telling him for, you know, all the time that I had known him, which was maybe, I don't know, a year at this point. I was saying, yeah, I have a spirit guide and he's a big Native. He looks like a Native American. He feels like he's, you know, Cree or something like that, but very loving, very beautiful spirit. Anyways, so this woman, Jane, is saying, yeah, you have this big Native, and she called him an Indian, behind you, and he's got a hat on. And I said, you mean like a headdress? And she goes, yes, one of those. And I was like, cool. Yeah, it was confirmation for me. So anyways, I went home and I looked up this Native gentleman, and I said, what's his name? And she goes, it's running bear. And I said to her, isn't that funny? Because my nickname in my 20s was Little Bear. And then when I ended up having children, I became Mama Bear. And here I have my spirit guide is Running Bear, right? And so anyways, I look up Chief Running Bear. And at that time, there was quite a bit of information on him that he defeated Colonel Baker in, you know, a war of 17, whatever it was, or 1800s. And he was born in 1787. And so I didn't really know much about him other than I discovered, oh my gosh, oh, Tammy, I'm about to lose the battery. So my battery is downstairs in my bedroom. And it is plugged into the wall by if you see the bed, it's to the right. Okay. Sorry, honey. Oh my God. Panic. We're going to lose you. If we lose you, I'll be back like that. Don't worry. Anyways. So back to,
Just kidding, folks. She hasn't run out of battery yet.
you brat, you. Anyways, you remember, smartass, right? He's a smartass. So, okay. So, anyways, I discover that Chief Running Bear is Sioux, and he's, you know, he's Sioux, and so my mom was born in Sioux Lookout, on the reservation in Sioux Lookout, and here he is Sioux as well. So it was just one of those coincidences again that you go, oh my gosh, absolutely amazing, right? So pretty cool. So anyways, he's been with me, but I've had other spirit guides throughout the years. When I was in my late 20s, I was like, okay, well, no, actually, when I was 17, I had a poltergeist in my room, and she arrived when I was 17. She left on my 18th birthday. That's a whole nother story. We'll do a whole show on her. And she turned out to be my grandmother that I had never met. So again, it was a spirit guide that, thanks, Tammy. Oh my God, you're the best. Yeah. We're just going to.
Yeah, Thomas says 3 days in a row I've been on a podcast where the battery has almost died. So Thomas, can we blame you then? Is it your fault?
You brought it to us, did you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
No, we're good. We're good. Yay, we have power. I got the power. Just kind of ditzy sometimes. Anyways, so yeah, my first real spirit guide, I guess, was when I was 17, and that is often the age. Spirit guides will come to you when you're just getting into puberty. I went late into puberty, and so yeah, 17, 18, it stayed with me. Then I had Catherine. She was when I was in my late 20s. Catherine was friggin' amazing. She taught me everything I know pretty much to date. She brought me to such a level of spirituality that it was profound what she shared with me. And of course, then I had my 2 near-death experiences, and she was there during it, and even a little bit after. She was still there. But that's when Hector, my third major spirit guide, came in. Hector was, if you've read my book, you'll know what I'm talking about. The guy that I met at the airport that came looking like a human, and he introduced himself as Hector. I thought he was a homeless guy, and he kept looking at me from across the room, and I remember thinking, oh God, he's going to hit on me. God. Geez, I'm just going to bury myself in this book, and I'm going to look down because I don't want to make eye contact with him. And then I look up and I think, oh shit, he's coming my way. Here we go. And then I hear this warmest voice say, hello, that's actually a really good book. That's a true story, And I looked up, and his eyes, they were angelic. They were so beautiful. So anyways, I spent some time with Hector at the airport, and he told me that he worked with children of PDF files. Look at that.
Hey, Carrie. Well done.
Using the new term.
That's a code chat for something that we can't say on YouTube and Facebook.
Right. Yeah. So children of PDF files. Well, I'll say that again. That sounds pretty good. Anyways, so not a laughing matter though, but he worked with children in his hometown of Seattle, Washington, in the States. And so, I then have my near-death experiences, and then I'm meeting this guy, Hector, and then a couple of years fast forward, I have the experience with a PDF file that enters our house and tries to get my 2-year-old at the time. And we all know that story. If you don't, it's lots of stuff on the net for that one. So who becomes my spirit guide is Hector. And I realized Hector was actually an angel that I had met at the airport. I write about that in the book. You got to read the book. It's absolutely incredible. The experiences. Yeah. Tammy. I love it. Yeah. So that was Tammy who just saved the day, that brought the power. So well done, Tammy. Gotta love her. Yay. Yeah.
Okay, let's get to some questions here, Carrie. A lot of these questions were from Bluebell, who presented this for us to discuss today. So let's go through these. First one is, does everyone have a spirit guide? I think you answered that already.
Yeah, from birth to death. One spirit guide, especially. But like when I looked at you, you had, Glen.
I didn't have one.
At you, well, you had someone behind you, and it wasn't a guide, it was a protector. When I looked at your wife, Tammy, and I've never seen that before, by the way. I have never not seen a spirit guide beside or behind someone. It's always someone, at least 2, 3, 4, 5, 7 spirit guides. But with you, it was just one big, massive, he was huge guy, protector. But Tammy, she definitely had a spirit guide, and he was like a Viking, and turns out she is Viking blood, right? So, and what year does your family go back to? Like 800 and something, the Vikings? Yeah. So, cool.
Okay. Next up, are they people we knew and have since passed?
Some can be. Not all. Like I said, some are celestial beings or masters. But some can actually be people. Like my very first one when I was 17, that was my grandmother. So she came to give me wisdom.
Okay. Chat, feel free to ask questions as well about spirit guides. Valerie's asking, are guardian angels real? I believe I met 2 or 3 when on a holiday.
Absolutely. Yeah. And remember, we were talking about angels earlier, and I said some angels will come in and they'll stop a car accident from happening. Or I had one of the first times I had read a book when I was about 24, and I wasn't a big reader, but I got through this book and it was on how to call in your guardian angels or your spirit guides. And so I thought, I really want to talk to my angels, and I'd like to have communication. Anyways, I'm walking down the street, Robson Street in Vancouver, BC, if anyone knows that area. And it's a pretty busy street. And so anyways, the light turned green and I was just about to step out, and I hear this angel, guardian angel, comes swooping in energetically. I could feel her. And she goes, step back, because see that brown van down the road? And literally my gaze went down the road and it said, the van's going to come through the intersection and you have to step back now. So it was within an instant. It was so fast. I stepped back off and back onto the curb. Sure enough, this brown van comes flying through, right through the lights, right? And had I been a couple of steps in, I would have been smushed. So guardian angels are very much real. And I'd love to hear your story. Share your story if you like, where you met them on your holiday, how they saved you, what they did for you. Share it with our community. That would be great.
Next up, how many spirit guides do we have? I think probably, it varies from person to person. And how
Totally.
long do they stay with us? Do they each have like a special purpose? Like, why do they come and go? Why do we get different ones?
Yeah. Well, like I said before, Catherine came for knowledge for me. She lifted me up and reminded me so much. I remembered me. I got to remember who I am, why I'm here, the purpose, and the gifts. She taught me how to open my third eye. She taught me how to meet my spirit guides and literally go up and fly into the stars and raise a vibration and all of that stuff. And open up to automatic writing. It was with Catherine that taught me how to do automatic writing, where I could hear her and I would just start writing, all the beautiful messages that would come through. So yes, we do have many spirit guides throughout our lifetime. Some have way more than others. For me, I thought it was just 3. And do they stay with us? Well, definitely one stays with you from beginning to end. It's like, it almost is connected to your soul. Your soul stays in the light. Your spirit comes and is in your body. There is a cord that connects your spirit and soul. Everyone thinks that the soul and the spirit's the same thing. I guess it is, but they're in different locations, right? The soul is in the light and is like your anchor. And your spirit is what is giving life to this traveling mechanism called your body, right? And your best friends, you co-create, you coexist with each other. You couldn't. In many meditations, I say, without your body, your spirit would be ether, and without your spirit, your body would be a rag doll. You need each other. It's like a hand in glove. You need each other in order to do the work that you're going to do. Okay. So some stay with us for a long time. Others, not so much.
Cheryl says, I believe I have 3 guardian angels since being attacked by a D when I was 16.
Yep.
This happened in the middle of the night. My younger sister could see it, and my mom woke up. I guess, Carrie, why it always seems it's during the middle of the night? Like, we never really hear a lot about being attacked during the daylight. Is it just
No.
a darkness kind of thing?
Oh, no, they come in the daylight as well. It really is when you are still in your mind, when you are most vulnerable. If you are open without knowing how to protect, right? If you are delving into thoughts that could be dark,
Oh,
right?
You
If
open
you
yourself up to it then.
Right. So for me, when I went toe to toe, it was because I was beating myself up all the time verbally. I was like, "Oh, how could I be so stupid? You know, I'm such an idiot." Like, and I hated myself for having an abortion. Right. So I hated myself for doing that, and that self-loathing created a door that was opened, and they're collecting souls. That's what he's doing, collecting souls.
And you
So
said drugs and alcohol open yourself up to that even more so, right?
totally.
If you're under the
Even
influence.
more so. Very good point. Excellent point. Yeah. Well, as soon as you have one sip, your spirit actually has to step outside of your body, and other things can come in and take you for a joyride. And that's why you're
One
like,
sip,
"Hey,
huh?
baby." Yeah. One sip.
One
Yeah.
sip.
It's an
Uh,
astringent, kills everything.
Question from Linda, kind of interesting too. I mean, you have names, you know the names of your
Mhm.
spirit guides, but how do you get to know the name? Like, how do you know? Do they have
Yeah.
names? Do you just name them yourself? What's the
Yeah.
naming? Because she's had one for 62 years, she says.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, come to my workshops. Good segue, because, I can share a little bit here, but it really takes a full visualization, a full meditation that I bring people through, and it's a process of getting to know your spirit guide and be able to speak with them, and you'll hear their name, or you'll sense or feel their name. It will come through, and others in the group also help, because we are all listening. If you're struggling, then we actually go individually and say, okay, so let's help this person find their name. Yeah.
Okay.
And it works. So listening, it's just stilling your mind, meditating, asking for your spirit guide to come in, your spirit guide that is here for your best and highest good and the best and highest good of all concerned. Always. You set the intention. And once you do that, then they come and you say, I'm so happy and grateful to see you. What is your name? And why?
Mm.
What is it that you would like to tell me right now? What do I need to learn from, or what do I need to know or experience?
All right,
Yeah.
let's roll through a few more questions quickly here. We're on an hour and a half into the show, and
Okay.
want to kind of wrap up in the next 30 minutes likely. So let's continue on. Bluebell also asked, do we have guides specifically for when we are to pass on? So does it change at that moment, or is it the same spirit guides?
No, you've heard often where, people will see their mother or their father or Uncle Joe or whoever came to meet them, and bring them into the light. That's your spirit guide. That is someone that has been here from another time, and is your guide on the other side. That's why often when people pass, I'll say, well, they're still here with you. And they can do more for you on the other side than what they could do here. And so often that's why they choose to leave early, because they understand that they can serve a greater purpose being on the other side as a spirit guide than here in the human form. You see?
Excellent.
Yeah.
Whether it's peaceful or not peaceful death, are we somehow prepared for this?
Well, when I died my second time, I saw what each and every one of us goes through. I remember hearing years ago, I don't know if it was before the death, actually, because my death was in 1992 and 93. It was a long time ago. And so I remember hearing that we see counselors. We sit down with a counselor before we come here. Even movies, they portray that, right? Which they're telling you in advance what happens. So you sit with a counselor and you decide all the things that you're going to do, and including how you're going to depart this plane and transcend. And so on a soul level, you're ready for it. You know what's going to happen. But sometimes the shock is so great that sometimes the shock is so great that it can trap, well, not trap, it can stifle a soul. It can literally jar them. And so they are earthbound. They are, you know, having a hard time going to light. So when we're clearing properties, when we're clearing houses, when we're clearing, anything for that matter, if there is a spirit that is still dwelling, some will call it a ghost. if the ghost is there, we simply say to it, look for the light, look for the light. We invite the light to come in. Where's the light? There it is. And they look at the light and poof, they're gone, because they were so shocked that they are earthbound for a while. And yeah, it's just guiding them. So we can be their guides as much as they can be our guides, you see?
It reminds me of when we decoded Dolores Cannon.
Mm.
She had said that a sudden death or someone that was, criminal or led a bad life on earth, they're kind of trapped in this we call purgatory, right? Where they haven't
Yeah.
crossed over.
Yeah. Well, I saw that as the gray zone, a gray void, I should say. So there's a
Right.
black void, a gray void, and a white void. And that gray void, yeah, a soul that is transitioning and doesn't feel that they've completed their life cycle with joy and with completion. If they committed, right, they chose to leave early. Got to watch what we say. Those people often get caught in this gray void. In fact, there was a great book, I think it sold like 50 million copies, and it was of a doctor, what's the word? He was a surgeon, neurosurgeon, and he ended up in the gray void for a long period of time. And it wasn't until he finally embraced, okay, I'm ready for the light. I'm so done with this. But remember, time isn't what we think. So for him, he was in that stuck, zone, purgatory for what felt like weeks and weeks and weeks. But in fact, it was like that because time isn't extending out like this. It's actually like this. So past, present, future is all like that.
Almost
See?
like a dream where you feel like you're in a dream for like a lifetime, and then
Mhm.
it could be a matter of seconds.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay,
Very
next
good.
up. If it is sudden, perhaps violent, is it possible the soul is not aware? Yeah, I think you've kind of addressed that.
Yeah.
The sudden kind of death. Can there be confusion? Yeah, I think you kind of addressed.
Total confusion. Yeah. Yeah.
There's the shock of the soul passing and the despair and disbelief of the people left behind,
Mhm.
particularly if it was unexpected. This must create some sort of energy or a grief vortex. What do you think?
Wow. That's actually a really good question.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Abs- Absolutely. It creates that cloud. Let's go back to that sad cloud. That is a grief vortex. What we saw, the eyes and the sadness, right? That's a grief vortex. That is where people have had such sad thoughts, dark thoughts, that it accumulates literally in a cloud. The eyes, there it is. Yeah. And so if something happens, like a war is, and everyone starts getting really sad and feeling so low and blah, 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 it's going to manifest as a cloud, a vortex, an energy. A cloud is an accumulation of molecules, an accumulation of thought, right? And we can change the clouds. We can change the energy with our thoughts. So that is exactly what you were just asking about. And I believe the power of the prayer of the community, of such an amazing community, Evergreen, that they shifted that. Yeah. So the vortex can be imploded, it can be dissolved, um, it can be sent backwards in time and close the vortex.
Wow, that's amazing, Carrie. I've
Mm.
yeah, amazing
Done that lots. Yeah.
description there. It doesn't matter how much time goes by, you never forget that person. I'm not sure what the
Mm.
question is. Maybe you can interpret it
Well,
better.
it's all about thoughts, right? So the vortex can stay with the people because they're never forgetting that person and they're feeling sad that they're gone. And that sadness can continue to be like a tornado going upwards, right? We need to let it go and look at death differently, because when death begins, life also begins on another side. Death does not equal the end. It's actually the beginning of a whole new way of living.
Amazing. Cheryl's watching on both YouTube and Twitch. Thank you. Yeah, you
You're
wouldn't
giving
believe
us double.
the one little view helps us so much, again, with algorithms and watch time and hour watch time, all that kind of stuff. So thank you. Thank you so much, Cheryl, for.
Cheryl,
And
we
if you
love
guys
you.
ever have a chance that you're busy and you're working, just put us on in the background. Let the video play through a few times, because every
That helps
view does
us.
help.
Yeah, it helps us greatly. Thank you.
Next, do they age on the other side if they passed away young?
The spirits that I've seen, the spirit guides, are always kind of in their prime, right? So usually in their 30s, late 20s, and physically fit and joyful. If they died as a child, I'll still see them 17, 18, maybe 25 years old. It's their soul, their spirit that is youthful and in their prime condition. So there's no such thing as age, really. That's a human condition.
Okay, and a couple more. Does a
Cat
soul
got another
linger?
mouse. Cat got another mouse.
Geez, the synchronicities of things happening during these discussions. Does a soul linger for hundreds of years? How soon after death does a soul reincarnate? I think that comes to time not being linear, right? Oh, you're on mute, Carrie.
That's odd.
That
How
is
did
odd,
they?
because
That's odd.
hands are off everything here. So
Same. That's odd. Wow. Okay, so does the soul linger for hundreds of years? Absolutely, it can. Do you have the pictures of Donald Ross School?
no, I don't.
No? Shoot, I had put them up in our group images, and if you can.
Okay, you keep talking. I'll see if I can find them.
Okay, because there was a school that when I was a casting director, I casted for a TV series, and it was called Fear Itself, and it was. I ended up leaving after the 6th episode. 6. There we go. And it was so D, right? Yeah, it was really. So anyways, we filmed in this school called the Donald Ross School. And it was a big old heritage building across from what was Telus Field. I think in Edmonton now it's Rogers Field or something like that. Anyways, so we filmed there. I hired homeless people to actually come in and play the role of homeless people. And I was in charge of the background for that one. Now, this school was haunted. It was so dark. And fast forward a couple of years, one of my girlfriends who is Aboriginal, and she's an elder, and I've spoken about her several times, Joyce Sinclair. So there you go. She takes over this school with her art center, and they do this multi-million-dollar fix-up job, and she cleanses. She's an expert at smudging and cleansing. In the basement of the school, there was actually like a prison, and it was a bank cell. They said, it had a big, steel door. It's like that thick. And I was always kind of scared that I'd get trapped in that place. So I went in with a smudge and I kind of just went around quickly, but it was like, okay, I'm out of because there was downstairs, which was this area, was so dark. It was unbelievable. Upstairs, where Joy had the art studio and everything, fantastic. It was almost like, sometimes in a house, in a big house, you'll have an agreement. Okay, you guys stay downstairs. We have upstairs. I've done this in my big house, we called it, in High River, Alberta. Did the same thing. So I always thought that this could have been a residential school because of the vault downstairs, and it was a school, right? And it did have this kind of energy. So anyways, fast forward, I am feeling the call of all of these spirits that are in this massive school. I don't know if you have any exterior shots of it, but It's a big old brick building, and probably 20,000 square feet, I'd say, at least. So, anyways, I'm hearing the call of all these spirits, and I had been in there. I had been teaching a workshop, and so I had the key to the building. Joy gave me the key, and so, anyways, I was finishing up, and as I'm going to the door, I hear these spirits basically calling for help. And I thought, okay, I'll okay, here we go. You know, crack, crack. We'll clear the building. So I sat down and I started to bring in the energy and bring in the columns of light and bring in God and Jesus be by my side. And then I started to like bring in this light, you know, just like, come on now. And as the light got stronger and stronger, I could see in the walls like cracks. And all of a sudden the light was coming through. It was extraordinary. And the light just went kaboom in this huge old school. Massive. Yeah, it's the top center one. Yeah, that one right there. It was big old school. Yeah. Actually, all of those, Donald Ross School. So anyways, I ended up clearing it. And as the light came in, all of a sudden from the basement, and from upstairs, like every, you know, vessel, every area of the school, ghosts of kids started coming, and they'd walk past me and go out the door. And it was a lineup, and I was watching literally hundreds and hundreds of children, all sizes, from little ones to tall ones, you know, all ages. And they just kept walking past me, and they went out that door. And, you know, I was dumbfounded, because they would just look at me and they would just nod, like they would look and go, you know, it was kind of, I'd nod back, you know, I love you. I love you. I love all of you. And they were free. So for hundreds of years, I believe, at least 100 years, they were trapped within that building. And that's what we were feeling when I was doing the casting of this horror flick that was filmed in this building. I actually Googled, I said, you know, was Fear Itself, what episode of Fear Itself was filmed in Donald Ross School? And it comes up saying, no, Fear Itself was never filmed in Donald Ross School. And I was like, come on now. I actually casted it. I was on set. I saw it all. And it was so creepy. We had a lot of things. Not at all. We're happy to have you in the community. Oh, you're answering. Okay.
Yeah.
So
Alchemist is so excited. She's just like wanting to make sure she doesn't come across as self-centered, but she's so excited to be part of the community, and everything's resonating with her. So glad to have you here, Alchemist, as Tamia said. Yes.
Oh,
and
that's
Carrie,
awesome.
I'm a little freaked out, Carrie, though. As I was looking at the pictures, you see who the name of this one here?
Old Red Brick School.
Right above it, though.
Glen's Travels. There's no accident, see?
That's not a common name, folks. It is not a common name.
Nope.
So for me to be looking for pictures and see that, whoa, okay, this is...
Yeah. So the other is a Donald Ross from a different area. But anyways, so we fast forward. Now the building is like clear. It's joyful. For the longest time, the school board they owned the building. They didn't want to touch this building because it was like creepy, you know? And then Joy comes in and she clears it out greatly, and it's feeling really beautiful, except for downstairs. It was like no one wanted to go downstairs. Then I come in, I clear all that out. And what does the school board do? Jacks up the rent from, I think it was $1,500 to $2,000 to $3,000 to $4,000 to $6,000 a month for that building, to the point that they couldn't afford it anymore. So the Aboriginal community had to move out because the school board just kept going. Every 6 months, every year, they were jacking up the rent. So now guess what? The Edmonton School Board now uses that building for their offices. So there it is. And it is a beautiful building now. It is clear, it is clean, it is lovely. And I think it's interesting that they don't have any association to fear itself on the net now. That's all being cleaned. And when I looked up my spirit guide, Chief Running Bear, virtually nothing about him on the net now. It's all being cleaned out. So,
Okay, we have and a good tie-in to our last couple questions, which are a little heavy, a little deep here, but your story about the Donald Ross School kind of ties into these. Gettysburg, when we see a war, when we see a battle, when we see so many lives lost at once in one place, here estimated 51,000 casualties. When we see this traumatic death situation with a huge group of souls, does it leave some sort of scar? Can you talk about
Of
that a
course.
little bit, Carrie?
Oh, of course. You can feel it when you walk on battlefields. You can feel those souls there unless it's being cleansed. A family member was coming back from Kamloops or through Kamloops, and they went by the Kamloops residential school, which was associated with the king or with the queen and Philip back in 1964. If you know what happened there, more PDF files, right? Anyways, that school still has, like Gettysburg, it still has that energy. And he picked something up from there. The whole family did. So I got an emergency call because, it affects your health, right? You walk through stuff like that. If you're an empath, if you're like a sponge and you can pick up things, you go into a haunted building, you pick it up, you can actually walk out with the stuff. And that's what happened. So I ended up having, to remotely cleanse the whole family. And I still haven't gone back to the school, but that's my next battle, I guess, is to be like the celestial avian and go in and just clear that Kamloops school out because of the horrors that were done there, right?
Is it is it the same process when you cleanse one soul compared to like 50,000 souls? Does it take longer? What's the situation?
A lot more energy. Yeah. When I cleansed his whole family, that was a lot because he was at the Kamloops residential school. So the energy from there was so profound, and he is such a sponge. He is such an empath, beautiful soul that he felt the pain of his own people, right? And so just sucked it up. So we cleansed it. We completely freed him and the family and the house and the cars and everything. And then we put a bubble around that never again, they will just fly past. They will never see him again. He's invisible to them. And so now he's protected. And that's the intention that you set, right? I'm protected.
And one more similar kind of tone. What if someone has a personality disorder, or perhaps are, have some sort of mental illness? Are their souls disturbed in some way, or is something else attached to their?
My God, these are excellent questions. I'm loving all of these. So thank you. I've been saying for probably about 25 years that I believe almost all mental disorders are entity driven, that they are negative entities or negative energies, because I've seen the miracles of lifting negative entities and energies out of people. And it's like they're back. It's like they're, oh my God, I'm back. They're whatever pharma stuff they were on. Sorry, I burp because I'm releasing it. Even just some memories of working with some people. I have to release it, let it go. Anyways, they are different people. So yeah, I believe that whatever the mental illness, a lot of it, if not all of it, is either learned behavior, it is military interference, or it is negative entities and energies. You there, Glen? Earth to Glen.
Yes, I am here. And thank you so much for the questions that the viewers have sent in or the questions that they put in chat here. A
Yeah.
little bit of discussion going on. Thomas and Cheryl and Alchemist, thank you so much for the comments. Sandy says, expecting the arrival of your book tomorrow, Carrie.
Oh, you are going to love it, Sandy. Thank you for getting a copy of it. I hope you enjoy it. I trust you will enjoy it. Now, I died twice. I'm going to pre-frame something here. I did die twice, and my first death was pretty dark. I did come toe to toe with a D, and but keep reading past there, because once you get past that, oh my gosh, it is stunning. And you kind of have to go through all of that because all of us have had something of that kind of level. Almost all of us have had, doubt or negative energies, lower level vibrational energy in our lives. And it addresses what that can do to you over time. So, but get past that, keep reading. And a lot of people cry at the end. So don't read the end first. But a lot of people cry in a good way. It's a really beautiful full circle. Yeah.
Well, Carrie, what an amazing show. Amazing show. Amazing members of the community here. Thank you guys so much. Don't forget, back Tuesday and Wednesday for the live readings with Carrie. If you have more spirit guide questions, spirit animal questions, questions about, things going on in your life or maybe going on in your life in the future, please tune in Tuesdays and Wednesdays for the free live readings. And Carrie does an amazing job on those 2 episodes.
Yeah.
And don't forget, please go check out on iTunes and Apple Music the Mystic Compass soundtrack, volume number 1. Yeah, it's going to be released on Carrie's birthday on Sunday, but you can pre-order it now on iTunes, or you can pick it up on Sunday on Apple Music.
I'm so
Also, I
excited
believe on
for that.
YouTube Music, it should be there as well.
Yes.
Bluebell Rose, thank you for leaving a lot of questions about spirit guides. You inspired us to do this segment today. So thank
Very
you,
much.
Bluebell. And if anyone else has some inspiration for topics to cover, please email Carrie or leave a comment in this video after it's done. And we will take a look through those a little bit later.
Yeah. We actually look at the videos, we play them back over time, and we still come back and answer all the questions that are in there. Now, if you're asking for a reading, I don't actually answer per se with the reading, but if you want a full reading with me, you can still do that. I'm still accepting. I think we're booking into August now, but that's all right. It's well worth it. 45 minutes will change your life. So again, Tammy, I'm sure we'll put in the chat the link for booking a session with me. And also don't forget, I've got 2 workshops coming up, and one is online and it is recorded. So if you can't actually make the dates of the 5th and the 6th of July, don't worry. You can play it back. Now, my courses normally are $1,797. And I kept hearing spirits say, give it away, Carrie. And literally, it's $50 for 2 full days of a life-changing workshop. And so I'm expecting that we'll have hundreds, but God has a greater plan so far. So I'm hoping that you'll go ahead, book online, $50, cheap like borscht. And yeah, I married a Ukrainian, my first marriage. So you're Ukrainian, aren't you, Glen?
Yes, I am. Yes,
You
I
are.
am.
Yeah.
Another synchronicity there. Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. So when I say
Okay, Carrie,
cheap like borscht,
well, we are just about at the 2-hour mark, and the timing is fabulous. Folks, we have a challenge for you. We're going to end off the show with another musical interlude here, and we want some audience participation. Please do us a favor, because we can feel the energy. We want positive energy out there in the universe. Please get up, dance, shake your hips no matter where you are. If you're at work, get up and dance. If you're in the supermarket, get up and dance in the produce aisle. Please do us a favor, participate in this song and dance
and sing,
away.
sing, have fun.
Sing, dance, have fun, smile, be kind to yourself, be kind to others. Carrie, thank you so much.
Oh, thank you, Glenn. You're the best. See,
Okay.
guys, you guys are the best.
Turn it up.
I love this song.
Dance.
If you could be a star hanging in the sky, you would light the world because you shine so bright. Well, I could be the moon and you could be the sun, and everywhere we go, we let the light shine on. So shine on everyone, shine on everyone, shine on everyone, till the day is done, let your light shine on. From the valley down below to the mountains on high, from east to west, from north to south, in the heart of every daughter, in the heart of every son, you know there's a light, let the light shine on. So come on now, shine on everyone. So shine on everyone. Come on now, shine on everyone. Until the day is done, let your light shine on. And now listen, don't you go and hide who you are inside. If you free your mind, you will feel so alive. Fire in your soul, let it take control. It will burn, so let it shine. Don't you go and hide who you are inside. If you free your mind, you feel so alive. Fire in your soul, let it take control. It will burn, so let it shine. So shine on everyone. Who you are inside. So shine on everyone. So shine on everyone. Let it take till the day is done. Let your light shine on. So shine on everyone. So shine on everyone. So shine on everyone. Till the day is done, let your light shine on. So shine on everyone. Come on, let your light shine on. So shine on everyone. So shine on everyone. Till the day is done, let your light shine on. Till the day is done, let your light shine on. Till the day is done, let your light shine on.